It's no secret that getting into pro wrestling is difficult. It gets harder for women to break into the industry, and for years the fairer sex have been battling against the status quo to be paid equally as their male counterparts. While that still hasn't happened, the largest sports organization in the world has boasted about empowering their female talent, dubbing it Women's Evolution for the positive PR it brings to the company. However, the women have always been a mere sideshow, while the focus has largely been on the male superstars. For decades, women were dubbed valets and later managers, while very few were given the opportunity of competing in a WWE ring. As time would progress, superstars such as Lita and Trish Stratus brought forth a change of that, but WWE went in the opposite direction with the Divas division. While WWE wanted the fans and critiques to focus on only the positives, the women still have to battle for everything, whether it's the airtime, equal pay as the men, or being given adequate opportunities. My name is John, and in this video we take a look at 10 things female wrestlers are forbidden from doing in the wrestling business, especially in WWE. There was a time when the women in the wrestling business were expected to be frivolous and play the role of an eye candy. During the Attitude Era, the women in ECW and WWE were given a free rein to do anything that would give them more TV time, and impress their bosses, of course. However, the times have changed, and the organizations are closely monitored and scrutinized for everything they do. Gone are the days when WWE could do a storyline where women were booked to reveal more than just the plot of a story. There have been multiple instances when the women exposed themselves on live TV, but the women are now forbidden from doing anything similar, and are expected to maintain professionalism whenever they're on camera. While they may have backed those changes, there is still a small section within the industry and the fan base that missed those times when the wrestling was fun and the storylines and angles weren't put under the microscope. The most important people in the wrestling business aren't necessarily the performers, but the writers and the creative team that are responsible for really making the superstars. While the performers still have to play their part on camera, the creative team can either make or break a star's career, and their ideas play a major role in the success of a WWE career. As such, the members of the creative team really shouldn't show favoritism, and they have to remain objective. While it might not be easy to separate your personal feelings from your professional work, things could get awkward if the writers get into a relationship with the female superstars. One such example was Michael Hayes dating Rosa Mendez many years ago, and if Hayes wasn't one of the biggest names backstage, he would have been fired for breaking the protocol. Mendez and Hayes then broke up, while Rosa started dating a musician and gave birth to a baby girl in early 2016 and retired from the business. WWE implemented the policy of the talent being forbidden from dating members of the staff in 2015, where office workers and production staff were then disallowed from hooking up with the superstars. It is no secret that professional rivalry often manifests as petty arguments, but the WWE stars need to remain professional. The female talent especially often come across as tight-knit family, but as we've seen in the past, not everything is as it appears. The fact that the Bella twins once went behind Maryse's back, costing her job in the WWE, highlights that the fact that off-camera rivalries do persist in the business. Saying that the female stars, much like their male counterparts, aren't allowed to go off script during their promos or matches. There are very few rules in the wrestling business that are to be taken as gospel, and never going off script is definitely one of them. There have been a couple of exceptions, including the time when Spider-Woman screwed Wendy Richter out of the women's title. There are serious legal ramifications if the talent decides to shoot on their opponents. Not too long ago, WWE aired segments where women were told to strip down to their lingerie and were booked to pillow fight or have random bikini contests. Then there were the odd instances where they were booked to go bare, either flashing the stars to distract them or flash the crowd to give them their money's worth. But times have changed, and the female stars are expected to rub shoulders with their male counterparts and be more than just eye candy for the fans, thankfully. WWE has a strict dress code when the stars are in the public eye, either during signings, appearances, or just doing promotional tours. The female talent are discouraged from wearing skimpy and revealing outfits, especially with WWE focusing on the women's evolution angle, showing that the women of WWE aren't just athletically gifted and aesthetically pleasing, but are also very classy, inspirational figures that the young girls can look up to. Yet another example of what worked 2 decades ago but is a strict no-no in this day and age. Gone are the days when flipping people off was seen as the cool thing to do. During the Mania match between Trish and Mickie James, Mickie did the V-lick gesture, and while the fans loved it, Vince McMahon reportedly threw a tantrum and apparently went off on Mickie James when she came backstage with her title. However, if the women do anything similar today, they won't just be yelled at, but will be given their marching orders on the spot. In their efforts to portray the WWE talent as responsible celebrities that uphold family values, the organization has made sure that the talent never abuse this in front of kids. Unless you're Vince McMahon, Triple H, or Stephanie McMahon, or are untouchable in the company somehow, chances are you'd be subjected to drug testing. The wellness policy program began over a decade ago, after the untimely demise of Eddie Guerrero, and since then, WWE regularly drug tests its talent unless your name is Brock Lesnar, in which case WWE will immediately point out their rule where part-timers are exempted from being tested. WWE has a 3-strike policy when it comes to the wellness policy violation, with the first strike earning the WWE star a 30-day suspension, the second one resulting in a 60-day suspension, and the third would mean that you'd be fired from the company. Once again, unless your name is Randy Orton. In 2016, Paige and WWE went back and forth regarding her second violation, which once again proved that WWE can come down hard on the full-time stars, and often has zero tolerance. While there are certain exceptions, the talent are forbidden from indulging in any kind of drug use, whether it's recreational, non-prescription, or performance enhancers. Image is everything, especially for a company like WWE, which has been heavily scrutinized in the past and was dragged through the mud during the now infamous '93 steroid scandal. Keeping a clean image and avoiding negative PR is of utmost importance. This also means that the stars aren't allowed to speak out against the company and its policies publicly, no matter how fair things get. Numerous stars have previously spoke out about Vince McMahon having an open door policy, and any grievances can be taken up directly with the boss. A couple of years ago, when WWE was taking advantage of the use your voice moment, AJ Lee tweeted at Stephanie McMahon about the pay disparity in the company, and how the female talent weren't being adequately compensated. Stephanie was reportedly furious with the former Divas champion, and it was Vince that reportedly came up with the response to her tweet. While AJ is no longer with the company, the talent are forbidden from doing anything that would show WWE in a negative light. With the officials of WWE keeping themselves at arm's length from any kind of disputes, the stars are expected to stay away from any kind of trouble. In the past, there have been instances when the female talent got into trouble with the law, and the axe came down immediately, cutting them loose. Drew McIntyre's ex-wife, Taryn Terrell, who used to work for WWE as Tiffany, was released from her contract after she got into a scuffle with her ex-husband, and was also arrested as a result. Former WWE star Emma, too, was fired after an unfortunate mistake led to her arrest at a Walmart. However, once the company got wind of the events that really transpired, she was reinstated. WWE, when it comes to legalities and superstars getting into trouble with the law, has a fire first and ask questions later policy. The saying, "past will catch up to you," holds true in the WWE as well. While the stars have to remain professional when they're in the public eye, they have to be careful about what they post on their social media accounts as well. Over the past few years, WWE has encouraged the talent to connect with their fans on social media and really seem approachable, but at the same time the company monitors everything the stars do. In the past, female talent have been let go because of some of the controversial images they have posted on their accounts, and the company forbids the talent from uploading any explicit images. It goes without saying that the images would portray the company and the talent in a negative light. The WWE acts rather quickly to make sure that their name doesn't get dragged through the mud. While the management wouldn't come out and tell female talent to just not get pregnant, it's implied in more ways than one. No matter how much the company emphasizes on the women's evolution aspect, the primary criteria for getting a job in the WWE is by looking good and staying in shape. Over the past few years, almost every female talent that got pregnant has either been let go after their maternity leave, or the talent themselves have decided to retire or leave the company. This includes the likes of Dawn Marie, who was released after she got pregnant, and even Rosa Mendez. And these are 10 things female wrestlers are forbidden from doing. I hope you're all having an amazing day. Thank you so much for watching Wrestling Hub, and I will see you later with more wrestling videos.